What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer, and this is my review for Troy Ave's new album, Major L. Major L? Wait a minute, that's not right. Well, actually. What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're an indie artist looking for an album review and some promo, you can hit up Luke at redmattersite.com. And what I have for you boys and girls today is my review for Troy Ave's new album, Major Without a Deal. That's right, Troy Ave, the self-proclaimed king, savior, bishop of New York. This is the album that apparently only sold a little over 4,000 copies the first week, and only 30 physical copies. But I know, I've read all the articles and that information is skewed, but it's still pretty damn funny to think that he sold 30 physical copies. But all jokes aside, I didn't go into this review wanting to hate on this album because I thought that his debut studio album, New York City, the album, was actually pretty damn good. I liked a lot of songs on it, and had I reviewed it, I probably would have given it about a 3.5 out of 5. But this one right here, it's definitely not a step up. And first of all, I gotta say that this is honestly one of the most boring albums that I have ever listened to in my life. As far as the content goes, there's pretty much nothing of interest on the whole thing, and Troy Ave as a rapper just isn't innovative at all. There's nothing about his flow, his lyrics, his style, or his delivery that sticks out. Although some people say that he kind of reminds them of 50 Cent, and I can see that a little bit, but just because you sound like someone else doesn't necessarily mean that's a good thing. The opening track, Quarter Million, has a very repetitive horn loop for a beat, and nothing sticks out about this one except for Cameron's verse because it fits the production. And the same type of thing can be said about the next song, I'm 'Bout It, which is kind of forgettable. It just has a very repetitive boom bap beat and a dull verse from Fat Joe, who really shouldn't even be called Fat Joe anymore because he's not fat. Maybe he should call himself Husky Joe. And since I mentioned that Fat Joe was featured on I'm 'Bout It, let's take a look at some of the other features on this album. The song Anytime is very smooth and mellow and features a pretty good verse from Snoop Dogg, and the song Gimme That features a forgettable verse from Young Lito and the usual high energy from A$AP Ferg. Gimme That is just a song all about getting that head because they don't have time for the girl to spread her legs, so yeah. There's also the single Bang Bang, which features 50 Cent, but 50 really brought some mediocre bars to the occasion, and like pretty much every song on here, there is nothing that stands out a lot about this song. The content continues to just be whatever. And there's not a lot to the beat that's really that great either. I mean, it's not bad, but just like a lot of beats on this album, there's nothing to it that really struck me. There's a couple of decent beats on this album, but not really any that just ripped into my chest and pulled my heart out like Kano. And that's too bad, because with all this tedious content, a little bit of a boost from the production would have really helped out a lot and done wonders for this album. But it's not all bad though. The song Do Betta has some really nice and smooth piano production, and Ty Dolla $ign's hook makes for one of the better moments on the album. The theme about how women can do better than the man they're with is nothing groundbreaking, but sonically I thought this track sounded pretty smooth. And the track, A Bronx Tale, has a similar theme, as it's all about Troy meeting a girl who doesn't really want to mess with him because he's a drug dealer. But unfortunately, Troy's storytelling skills are nothing to write home about on both of these tracks, and he doesn't do a very good job of painting a picture. It's all very basic. Do Me No Favors is another one of the better tracks because of the classic string production and consistent verses from the veterans Fabulous and Jadakiss, but I don't know why Troy Ave is singing on this song because it is absolutely brutal. And it's pretty much brutal every time that he sings on this album. Just listen to the song Young King and see how far in you can make it before you cringe. I'll give you about 25 seconds at best. But the absolute worst song on here, and a serious contender for the worst hip-hop song of 2015, is Doodoo. The song is called Doodoo, but the song is actually Doodoo, which is pretty clever that the song title actually describes how the song sounds. I'm really not sure if Troy was just joking with this one, but the beat sounds like it was made for Caillou or some shit, because it's just some childish sounding piano. And on the hook, he's singing to the haters about how he's gonna shit on them like doo 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 doo. No. No, Troy. It's terrible. Other meh moments include the song Fake Butt Busta, where Troy Ave raps about how he doesn't like fake butts over some jazzy production. But this whole song just came across as kind of jumbled and misguided to me, because the goofy lyrics and content do not match the lavish saxophone production. There's also the song Real One, where Troy raps about being a real nigga. What else? That song turns into June 5th, which isn't that good. He says something about being a fisher with the fish scale and you're just a tuna. My God. Well, I don't know how Troy managed to make such a bad and tedious album, but he did it with this one. This is really damn bad. But actually, I do know how he managed to make this album so bad. It just has no real soul or direction or vibe to it. It just sounds like a bunch of songs chucked together with features sprinkled throughout to make for an album that sounds like a bunch of filler tracks more than anything else. Especially when you include the All About the Money remix with Rick Ross and Jeezy, and that song was stolen from Manolo Rose basically, and the song Your Style with Puff Daddy, Mace, and T.I. Both of those remixes have big names on them, but they're just very average tracks. You probably heard my daughter crying in the background. It's okay. She's just getting fed something she probably doesn't like. Mashed carrots or some bullshit. So to reiterate, Troy doesn't really say anything of interest on this entire album. And it really doesn't feel like a lot of time and effort was put into making an album that's great and memorable. And you know, not every album I've reviewed has great content and is extremely innovative, but this album to me is just so damn dry. Like, nothing really stuck out about this, and as I was listening through, I was just growing really bored with it. And that would have been fine if some of these beats really banged or some of them were really smooth and lavish, but for the most part the beats are just meh. There's a couple decent ones, but nothing to write home about, and Troy Ave's flow is alright, I'll give him that, but still, this whole album was just executed poorly, and I give it a 2 out of 5. But that's just what I thought about it. Hit me up in the comments section to let me know what you think. I'm sure some people out there disagree. And as usual, do all that other good YouTube and social media stuff, where you like my videos, you share them, you follow me on Twitter, you retweet the videos, and you especially subscribe to my channel, because that's the big one. We're past 4,000, climbing to 5,000. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.